So, you've poured your heart and soul into creating this amazing guide, right? You've done all the work, you hit publish, and then? Nothing. Crickets. Look, the problem probably isn't your content. It's that in this massive sea of information we call the internet, how does anyone even find it?
I mean, think about it. With literally billions of pages online, how does Google decide who wins? When you type something into that search bar, what makes it pick one specific page out of millions for that coveted #1 spot? Well, the answer isn't just about the words on the page. It's about a kind of hidden currency that really powers the web.
And this is the core idea right here. Just think of them as digital votes of confidence. Whenever one website links to another, it's basically casting a vote. It's a signal that tells search engines, hey, over here, this content, it's actually valuable, it's trustworthy. It's a super simple concept, but it fundamentally shapes everything we find online.
Yeah, you can almost think of it like this. Search rankings are, in a way, a digital popularity contest. And these backlinks, well, they're the votes that decide who wins.
So what exactly is a backlink? It's really simple. It's just a link from one website to another. Let's say a really popular tech blog links to your new software guide. That blog is essentially vouching for you. They're telling Google, and just as importantly, their own readers, that your guide is legit and worth checking out.
And, these votes can come from all over the place. They might pop up in a news article that mentions you, or a link in someone's blog post. It could be a listing in a business directory, or even a citation in some academic PDF. Every single one is a signal.
Okay, but here's the thing. These votes do a lot more than just signal that you're popular. They're telling search engines 3 very specific and very important things about how credible your website is.
First up, the established authority. This is huge. When other respected websites in your field link to you, it signals that you're a credible, authoritative source on that subject. You're not just some random voice shouting into the void. You're seen as an expert.
Second, they signal relevance. So, if you run a website all about baking and a bunch of other well-known baking blogs start linking to your recipes, what does that tell Google? It screams that your content is highly relevant to baking. The context of that link matters a lot.
And finally, all of this comes together to build trust. A healthy web of links from legitimate sites shows that you're a trustworthy part of the online world. And you better believe search engines want to send their users to sites they can trust. Backlinks are one of the main ways they figure that out.
So if you take one thing away, let it be this. The content on your pages, what we call on-page SEO, that tells Google what your site is about. But it's the backlinks that prove to Google how much it should trust what you have to say. They're the verification.
Okay, let's connect the dots. How does all of this theory actually translate into the result that everybody wants? Getting to the top of those search results. Well, a strong backlink profile creates this incredible ripple effect. First, these links directly boost your ranking power. Simple as that. They also act like little beacons, helping search engines discover your new content way faster. And what's really crucial is that when you're neck and neck with competitors who also have great content, a better backlink profile is often the single thing that gives you the edge. And I'm not just saying that. In fact, study after study confirms it. Even with all the hundreds of changes to Google's algorithm over the years, backlinks have consistently stayed right up there as one of the most powerful ranking factors. It's a true pillar of SEO.
But hang on, because here's where the whole story takes a really critical turn. It's not about just getting the most votes. It's about getting the right votes. This right here is the single most important thing to understand about backlinks. This is not a numbers game. The quality of the vote you get is so much more important than the sheer quantity of votes. Just think about the difference. A single link, just one, from a major respected news outlet in your industry, that carries immense weight. Now compare that to hundreds of links from spammy, totally irrelevant websites. Those votes aren't just worthless, they can actually harm your site's reputation. So what's the secret sauce? What makes a vote powerful? It really boils down to a few key things. The authority of the site that's linking to you, the topical relevance, do their site and your site talk about similar things, and even the placement of the link. A link that's naturally woven into an article is way more valuable than one just buried in a footer somewhere. So understanding all this really changes how you should think about getting your content noticed. It's not about sitting back and hoping links appear. It's about strategically earning them. The best backlink profiles out there are never an accident.
They are the direct result of an intentional plan, of creating content so good that other authority sites want to talk about it, and then building the relationships to make sure they see it. It's a campaign, not a lottery.
So I guess that leaves us with the real question. Let's assume you've already made great content. The question now is, who are the authorities, the important voices in your field that you need to connect with to earn their vote? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.